Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. The videos have been reasonably regular. I had a few days off there where I was just sort of struggling, and to be honest I'm struggling today, so I pulled out a soap to try and reduce the tension, and it is Wickham 1912 Buddha Wood. Now this is only available, or was only available, from the Gentleman's Groom Room in Dundee in Scotland, and I was very lucky to visit Ian, the owner over there, when I met up with Karve Shaves, and he gifted me this tub of soap. It smells fantastic. It's a really nice woody scent. I think there's a bit of oud in there and a few other sort of nice, it's just a nice relaxing woodsy type scent. It would actually make, I think, a reasonably nice aftershave. It's quite powdery, it's almost got a bit of a barbershop thing going on, but it's not a barbershop scent. It is very woodsy. Now this is the 1912 formula, which for me is still a very good formula. It's not quite as good as the best on the market at the moment, but there's not really a bad artisan, to be honest, these days. They're all great in their own ways. Now, the brush of choice for today, which I'm just going around my den just now through all my brushes, is my Brushguy brush, made by Matt Martin over in the States. This is an absolutely stunning brush. I love the handle. Now, a lot of people don't like the shape. They think it's a bit odd looking. It's not very attractive. The more I have this in the den, the more I use it, the more I like it. It is easily the most ergonomic handle in the den. It was super well designed, so comfortable to hold and use, and his pores of his acrylic or his resin or whatever you want to call it are absolutely spectacular. Just wonderful. So I'm just going to dip that back in the water, flick the excess out. So yeah, the last week was challenging with the kids all doing the schoolwork, and got a helicopter going over the top of me now, doing all the schoolwork at home and trying to help them through all of that. I mean, they know how to do it. I'm freaking useless at schoolwork these days. I can't even do basic maths. But it's still been hard. Today the boys have finished their work already. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They're just sitting down to their lunch now, and it's like, oh, what do we do for the rest of the day? And the problem is I'm exhausted, I'm knackered. I've not been sleeping very well. I've been waiting on results for my wrist, and obviously there's a lot going on in my mind. I think that I'm trying to mask and show up as if it's not as bad as it really is. It is affecting me. There's no doubt about it. This injury has been going on since September 13th, and the actual break in my arm is completely healed, and it healed very, very well. You know, way better than the doctors actually thought. And when you look at the x-rays of the break itself, it looks better than it did probably before it got broken. So I've been very happy with that. However, as a result of the injury and the aftermath and the recovery and the bone healing, something has happened to my wrist, and I can't shake it. I can't get rid of it. The strange thing is, I've done probably 300 odd push-ups, between 300 and 400 push-ups over the last 3 or 4 days. Since Friday, it's now Monday, so the last 4 days I haven't done any today. I've done about 300 and something push-ups, and it hasn't impacted my wrist. Now, I go to walk out the front door and I grab the handle and I twist it, hurts instantly, and it's extremely frustrating. So tomorrow morning I will go and see my doctor, my GP. We'll have a look at the scans, and hopefully I'll finally get some news as to where I need to go and what I need to do, and whether there is actually something going on in there. Is it all in my head? I don't know. Jeez, that's a very thick load. I'm just going to dip the tips. Someone mentioned that I've been doing the painting technique like this, where I dip the tips and paint, and then other times I just go straight into dipping the brush and lathering. It's natural hair brushes, I generally just dip straight away and start lathering, spray the brush and start going. I can't really do the technique as well with a natural hair brush, and sometimes I just can't be bothered. It's just quicker just to spray the brush. I'm at a point now with lathering where I feel quite confident I can lather most things reasonably well. that are good soaps. I mean, you can't make a shit soap lather well, it doesn't work. But good quality artisan soaps and good quality mass produced soaps that lather well. I'm reasonably confident now I can lather pretty much anything that's out there and get it to a similar standard that I normally have my lathers. I obviously spend a lot more time on a lather than a lot of people do. When I'm off camera, I still spend quite a bit of time lathering because it's relaxing for me. This part here that I'm doing now is the most enjoyable part of the shave for me. Look how thick and dense that is. Right, I'm just going to spray the brush now. Now the knot that's in here, I think the one that's in here is called a boss knot, but it's pretty much a game changer. Boss knot, they are identical knots really, in the feel and everything. Now this one has got quite a bit of scrub. It's got no scritch scratch, but loads of scrub. It actually feels almost natural hair feeling. And it's not too much for my sensitive skin. Now if you're looking at me as well and thinking, wait a minute, you've got no hair to shave there. I don't actually have a lot of growth to shave off. I had a really close shave yesterday. Right. Superb. Actually tastes like it smells. Right, the razor, I'm just going straight in with the Karve today. Christopher Bradley razor with the B plate. Boring, I know, same old shit, same story. But it's a fantastic razor. The blade I'm using today is another Derby Extra. I've chucked the other two, got 3 shaves out of one, 2 out of the other. They're very cheap blades. I'm basically just going through them one at a time just now, just to see how the quality control is. That's mainly it, because the last 2 have been fantastic. So this is the 3rd one from the same pack. I'm expecting fantastic. Let's see how it feels. I've hardly got any growth though, so. Superb, super smooth. Nice light touch. There's actually loads of soap left on my face there, so the slickness is incredible. But that's mainly due to the soap, nothing to do with anything else really. So clean this handle off just a little bit. There's a little bit too much soap floating about on it. It's a wonderfully relaxing scent. It's almost got a sort of lavender type thing that goes on with it that really chills you out. I've got no idea whether you can still get this soap or not. I don't think the scent is quite as nice as, say, the Stallion or Aromatherapy Oud from Prairie Shavery, but it's nice. It's a nice, soothing, relaxing scent. It's only like a 3 or a 4 at the top in terms of scent strength. Loads of residual slickness. Right, from left to right. I am 10 chapters into my latest book that I'm reading, which is Ice Station by Matthew Riley, who is an Australian author. Who writes sort of modern day warfare type stuff, similar to Lee Child, that sort of thing. Now, it's actually quite a good book. I'm quite enjoying it. It's the first book he ever wrote, so you can't expect it to be perfect or close to or anything, but there's something in it that really annoys me. Now, for those of you out there that have spent any time in the music industry or any industry that involves microphones, you'll know that when you talk into a mic, it's spelled M-I-C, mic, short for microphone, with a M-I-C-R-O, phone. Now, he spells mic, M-I-K-E, so everyone's talking into the mic. It must be their brother or something. Now, first time around I thought they must have missed that, but it's not. It's every single time, and it gets used quite a lot throughout the book, and I'm only 10 chapters in. It's quite annoying, more so because I've always sort of prided myself on being a pretty good speller, and when I don't know how to spell I go and learn it and then I sort of remember it. I'm pretty good for that, but it's just really average. Now, the version of the book that I have is old, so I'm assuming it might be the original one that was sort of released. Maybe in future versions they actually fixed it. But how it got to printing, with such a poor spelling mistake, I've got no idea. What that noise is. I'm starting to find now that noises I've never heard before while living at home, they've probably been going on for ages, are starting to annoy me now. actually. I know what that noise is. It only comes once every 2 weeks, I think, or every month. We're cleaning the bins. The guy comes and cleans all the bins out for us, one of our friends that owns a company. We clean his windows and do his driveway once a year, and he does our bins every month. It's a good arrangement. Just rinsing brush out. Believe it or not, I've almost sold this brush a few times. I've not almost sold it, but I've had it in my hand and thought, do I really need it? And then I end up saying yes I do. You can't get Brushguy brushes anymore that are actually marked up as Brushguy brushes, but you can get them from Strike Gold Shave. Now, I can't remember the name of the guy that owns Strike Gold Shave, but I've noticed brushes like this popping up on his website and on his page and things, and I'm like, fuck, that's a rip-off of Matt Martin's Brushguy brush. However, Matt actually reached out to me when I used this brush and gave me a little bit of info. He actually makes the brushes for Strike Gold Shave and he sells them. So it works well for him. He doesn't have to sell them on his website anymore. He just sends them straight to the other company. Cuts out the sort of middle, well, sort of, it cuts out all the bullshit of trying to sell stuff and do it yourself. And someone else does it for you. So Strike Gold Shave win, and so does Matt really. So he makes the brushes still. So you can still get these style brushes with Matt's pose, with newer knots. This is an old knot now in terms of wet shaving. I think these knots are about 4 or 5 years old, the Boss knots, when they first came out, the game changes. But still a fantastic knot. Right, well, little weeper there, little weeper there, little weeper there. 3 little weepers there. But other than that, that's a really close, really comfortable shave for me. Post shave feels really nice, feels lovely and moisturised. But I am going to finish off now with the usual, after every shave, AP Reserve Essentials Peptide Concentration Serum. Is it Peptide Concentrate Serum Restoration? So what I do, if you haven't watched before, I wet my hands, flick off the excess, 1 pump, tiny amount, it's not a lot. When you mix it up with just the water droplets on your hands, it makes it go a long way. But the thing that it mainly does is it eradicates the sort of, when I first used it, it left a little bit of a sticky film, a little bit, you could feel it on your skin. Now when I mix it with a little bit of water in 1 pump and it goes a bit further, I'm still getting all the stuff from it. It's just obviously watered down a little bit and it covers a thinner area, if you know what I mean. And I can feel it drying in now. It doesn't leave that sticky sort of film that it can leave if you use too much. Come on, focus. Buddha Wood, Wickham 1912. It's struggling today. It is really struggling. Wickham Soap Company, 1912, made by Darren Barnes over in England. Top bloke, really nice guy. Makes a lovely shaving product. I love his tubs, I love his labels. And the Buddha Wood one that was released for Ian over at the Gentleman's Groom Room is a fantastic scent, and I'm so happy that he gifted it to me. It's such a great soap. The brush for today, as you've already seen, is my Matt Martin Brushguy brush. Love the little coin down the bottom there, BG. 26mm I think this is. I think it's a 26mm, pretty sure. It's quite a big hole actually. This brush, believe it or not, I contemplated taking this out and putting a rhodium knot in because it's quite a big hole here. I reckon this is probably 28mm hole. And I think it would look beautiful with a big badger hanging out of it, but that's original as it came. I won that in a raffle and I really like it still. The razor, can't say much more about this bad boy. The Karve Christopher Bradley razor in aluminium with the B plate, 0.73 blade gap, and the brand new Derby extra blade. Honestly, these blades here, one of the cheapest on the market, are just quickly becoming one of my favourite blades in this particular razor. I am going to try it in the leaf razor soon on a head shave. I'll probably give my head another day's growth, give me a couple of days to put down. I had a fantastic shave yesterday. And I finished off today with AP Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. That's a mouthful. Now so far, I'm just going to open this up actually and have a look. Yeah, It's a very strange sort of bottle, the way it works. It obviously sucks the base on the inside up to squirt the liquid out. Now, someone had said that it might possibly have been like another brand that they've peeled all the labels off and put it in. The thing I will say against that is, I find generally when you get these and they come from a branded company, you can't unscrew them to get access to them. Maybe you can, but I've had a few where you just can't unscrew them. You can get access to it through the top of the lid and the squirty thing and that, but they're generally sealed compartments. But this one's not, so I don't know. I'm just taking a stab at the dark. The scent is very, very similar to Passion from Australian Private Reserve. It's got similar sort of ingredients in there mixed with shitloads of others. I'm assuming they're all good for you. I don't know. I haven't checked on them all. There's just far too many, to be honest. That ingredients list is massive. Absolutely massive. And lots of big words, which probably mean simple things. They just look flash when you put them in big words. Maybe you've got to put them in the big words, I don't know. I think it's like the chemical version of another word, you know. So that being said, fantastic shave. Have a great day. Stay safe, drive safe. Don't drink and drive. I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.